What up, guys? Doug from Red Apple. We're chilling right now at the Las Vegas headquarters of Red Apple Fireworks, and we are with my brother Mike, my friend Ryan, and we are about to do the first ever Red Apple podcast collab, and we're just getting started, so hang in there. We're going to kick it off in just a few minutes here. We're going to let the live stream keep rolling. You guys can hit us up in the comments right now. We'll try to answer them, maybe. And otherwise, just give us some good feedback about what you see here. If this works, we might be rolling this into a more regular thing. So make sure you give us the raw feedback that we come to appreciate from all of y'all. So hang in there. We'll get this thing going in just a minute. What'd you point over there for? Melissa?
I was saying I was going to answer on my laptop.
Oh, cool.
And Doug, I'm gonna have you sit one more time just for this camera, and then we're good to go.
Ben's having me sit one more time. Ooh.
I know.
Making me work.
I make Mike sit a lot too.
Can we move the box up a little bit or
How
no?
often is
Yeah, you can move that up.
Can you help me?
Yes.
As far up as I can go would be preferred.
Got over 60 done.
Sorry.
I think I'm gonna try to answer comments.
Let me just double check.
From my laptop, yeah.
Awesome. It's all about business.
I have to push
So
it
I
just a
work with
little.
franchises.
I just don't want to get the screen.
I talk to a lot of clients of mine that are like international, national franchises.
It's good on my end if it's good on yours.
Yep, perfect.
Consultants that
Okay.
sell franchises, so it's all entrepreneurial.
Perfect. We're live.
Perfect.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty, I mean, both of our parents were, or are, you know, entrepreneurs. I actually just told a story yesterday to our team in the office,
Yeah.
just kind of like how we got rolling, and like, we grew up in a household where it was like constant, you know, how do we get some more money? Like, what do we do? You know, oh, there's a business opportunity here, jump in. We did POGs for a while.
Yeah, remember those?
If I
We
sit right
grew up in
We were
Michigan.
the Pond Kings of Detroit.
We were, we brought POGs to the Midwest,
Really?
from the West Coast. That was
So you grew up in Detroit or outside or?
Yeah, Detroit Metro,
Oh, wow.
suburbs.
Are you guys want to get started?
Sure.
Are we still doing the shot of them walking in, shaking?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, like I said, you guys take it over as soon as I say action. It's your guys' show. You just do as you normally would.
Cool, so people watching the live stream, you're getting the full behind the scenes experience here. Ben is the voice you hear in the
Yo
background.
yo.
He's operating the camera, he's doing the production, he's doing some directing. Alyssa is here, she's gonna be answering your comments on chat. And what we're about to do is gonna be cut into the final episode. So it may seem a little inauthentic, but it's not. This is how we film. We gotta have the right scenes, we gotta have the little bit of a script going, so just roll with us. All right, enjoy. All right, so we walk in and we're like, hey.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when you guys talk,
Uh,
try to project a little bit into the mic.
Okay.
And then Mike, just give me a clap, please. I didn't see that. I need to see. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, you guys ready?
Ready?
And action.
What's up, Ryan? Hey.
What up,
Good to see you.
Ryan?
Welcome, thanks for coming in.
Good to see you, man.
Good to meet you.
You too.
All right. All right, I'm gonna get set up here.
All right. This is cool.
We will get talking. We have the notes out here. Okay. Weren't you drinking the beer?
I think you took my beer and you're drinking it.
No, I opened up a new one. Yours is still
Thank you.
You want to get yours?
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
Would you like some beer?
I'm good with water, but thank you.
You don't want a shot of $400 whiskey?
No. All right, let me hit record. And if you guys, have anything like you stumble or you want to like kind of reframe what you're saying, just give me like a 5-second pause. Start again. Sure. I try not to edit too much because it takes a lot of time. So.
Sure.
quickly
All right.
that camera to make sure
On it.
down in the right spot.
And we got
Just
phones
make
on
sure he's
silent.
in it.
Right? Phones are on silent. Want to make sure. Crew, are your phones on silent?
Is your phone vibrating?
Yeah.
Stop it from vibrating.
It's on the floor now.
Good.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit record. Hey everybody, today is a special episode because not only am I doing an audio podcast, I am doing a live video podcast with two amazing gentlemen, Doug and Mike Berta with Red Apple Fireworks. I'm excited about this episode because I don't know a lot about the fireworks industry. I don't know a lot about you guys, so talk about the history, the family history with this business, and how did it start?
there's like the fun story and then there's like the real story, so we'll like do it somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
So our dad is an immigrant, came over in the late 1970s from the former Soviet Union. He left as a political refugee, and he's brilliant. Our dad is the smartest guy I've ever met. And he had an engineering degree, and he was top of his class, didn't speak any English when he got over here, and couldn't get an engineering degree. And so landed in Detroit with his family, and literally started finding any job that he could, including actually shoveling shit out of people's basements in Detroit.
Wow.
And you know, he grinds. He always has. And his friend came along to him one time and said, you know, I've been selling fireworks to make some good money. Do you want to give it a try, right?
Yeah.
And of course, my dad was like, yeah, cool, let's give it a try. And started selling fireworks out of his trunk on the block.
Wow.
And sort of, you know, just ratcheted that whole operation up. When he met my mom was in a similar place in terms of finding a way to make money. And so they were pretty much, they both had this idea of pursuing the American dream,
Yeah.
which at that time was different than what it is now.
Right.
But at the time, they were really synced up together in basically just forming that partnership that allowed them to build a business and make some money and build a family.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that went on for a while. I went to law school. You know, fast forward like, you know, 20-some years. I went to law school.
Yeah.
Mike was working in one of our other businesses in Michigan. It was a Halloween business,
Yep.
seasonal retail. And I got my first job as a lawyer here in Las Vegas. And I was doing intellectual property law, which was pretty particularized at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I got burned out really quick on it.
Yeah.
The ceiling for creativity is very low.
Yeah.
And we heard that there's fireworks out in Perron.
Yeah.
And we drove out to Perron to see the lay of the land, and we saw an empty building.
Mm-hmm.
And we filled out an application to get a fireworks permit.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are 11 years later.
Wow. Wow. So you guys are working together, you're building this fireworks business. What was the experience like? Because when I think of fireworks, I think, okay, it's a once a year thing, 4th of July. How do you sustain the business over the year? Like, I want to understand like how the model works when 4th of July is once a year, and where else do you see business or opportunities with fireworks coming in?
Yeah, you want me to take this one?
Well, I think that it's evolved, for us it's evolved.
Yeah.
It started as a hustle for July 4th kind of mentality.
Right.
That's the time that you gotta do it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of evolved into like an all reasons, all seasons kind of a thing where we were grinding to sell fireworks for any reason.
Yeah.
And we had an endless list of even some nonsense holidays like National Look Up at the Sky Day. You know, whatever that even means, but we, you know,
Sushi Day.
right, where we tried to market it as a reason to use or buy fireworks. And I
Right.
think that that's now progressed into a celebrate with fireworks mentality, where
Okay.
rather it's any reason, any season,
Yeah.
it's if you got something to celebrate, or if you're having a party or trying to mark some sort of milestone,
Yeah.
then you definitely need fireworks for that.
I see. Okay.
Well, what we're,
Yeah.
No, you're right though. I mean, you know, it took us a while to realize that the off-season marketing has much less of an impact on our bottom line than our on-season marketing.
Yeah.
And so even though we try to sustain it outside of the busy selling season,
Yeah.
we're still very much subject to the 80-20 rule,
Yeah.
where, you know, 20% of the selling season is what drives 80% of our revenue.
Right.
So when we get to that phase of the on-season, this is the busy selling season, you know, everyone is all in for like 3 months nonstop, just
Right.
crazy.
And that starts like what, like around what, late spring, early springtime when it really?
Typically, you know, the typical fireworks business opens up for like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
For us, we're sort of in more of a niche area,
Yeah.
and we're able to really drive that busy selling season from April through July 4th.
Okay. Okay.
but I would say traditionally, it's like Memorial Day is
That's when people start thinking
is
about
the
it.
kickoff.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Like, this is what I want to understand too, because fireworks, the technology has evolved, the way they're marketed has evolved. Like, I'm looking around your office now, and there's like boxes of, there's colors, there's cute characters, there's cool pictures, artwork. Like, how have you seen things change with fireworks and technology over the last, you know, decade or however long it's been? Like,
This is one of our main differentiators.
Yeah.
We've driven a lot of it over the last you know, 10 or 11 years. And so what we're seeing, Mike can explain some of the differentiators,
Yeah.
but we're seeing, when we got into it, the industry was a dinosaur.
Yeah.
It was dead.
It still kind of
It
is.
still kind of is, but now we have everyone copying us.
Right.
Even we have the 800-pound gorillas copying us, and we have the, you know, fly-by-night
Yeah.
salespeople copying us also. So it's,
Right.
we've driven a lot of that innovation, but
Yeah.
if you want to talk a little about that.
I mean, technology-wise, fireworks themselves haven't changed so much.
Right.
I mean, it's gone from fully handmade stuff to there are some machines that do mass-produce items.
Yeah.
Like there's sparkler machines now, there's smoke bomb machines that actually form and make the items.
Right.
But more so than not, these items are being handmade in factories in a line where, you know, it starts with the powder,
Yeah.
and the powder gets molded into some form and put into a tube.
Yeah.
And then the tube goes down the line, and they put the tubes together, and they
Right.
fuse everything together.
Yeah.
So they're still making fireworks the same way they were when they were, you know, 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But we've found space to innovate because there was such a lack of information and such a lack of understanding of what fireworks are,
Yeah.
that not only did customers have no idea what they were purchasing,
Yeah.
but the people selling the fireworks had no idea what they were even selling.
Right.
Even now, like, if you use some of the granular information,
Yeah.
if you're a customer,
Yeah.
and you go to our website or our store, and you learn about the technical aspects of the fireworks, and you go to another store, and you say, I want a 30-shot, 1.2-inch tube caliber cake that has 20 grams of powder per shot, and a 6-shot fan-shaped finale.
Yeah.
Most of the people in that store, I would say, the vast majority, they're gonna look at you like you're from Mars.
Like speaking about the link.
That's right, even though that's their product.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think back to even when Doug and I, we had the tent in Detroit
Yeah,
for so many years, and
8 Mile.
I mean, on 8 Mile, and not in such a great area, but you know, even as fireworks business owners, we had a difficult time understanding what the product was that we were selling.
Yeah.
And you know, you pick an item up and you'd say, somebody say, what does it do? And you're like, well, it's a little, there's some silver in there, and maybe there's some gold.
Yeah.
And really, we're just looking at the package and trying to sell the item.
And that was usually wrong.
And it was usually wrong. But now, you know, it's evolved to this, you know, to a package like you have behind you,
Yeah.
where it has more information on the package than a customer would ever even know what to do with.
Right.
And we're trying to educate the customer
Yeah.
so that they understand what they're buying. Not only to be safe,
Yeah.
but just to understand how they can use the firework, you know, at their home or wherever it is that they're.
Like a theme party or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So if someone's a novice, they don't know fireworks at all, they walk into your store, what's the sort of the top level kind of basic understanding? Like, what do you tell someone, say, well, you could probably want something like this, you know?
Sure.
How do you explain that to them, with the way they work and the technology and all that?
So the threshold for what most people are looking for
Yeah.
when they go to buy fireworks, putting aside the expectation that they're gonna be in a, you know, a flea spec stand on the side of the road,
Yeah.
right? We're sort of the antithesis of that from the beginning.
Yeah.
Our store's nice, it's clean, it's well lit,
Right.
there's TVs everywhere.
Yeah.
And the website reflects the same sort of, you know, methodologies, but, you know, generally when you're buying fireworks, you want something that shoots up in the air, you want it to explode,
Yeah.
you wanna see some different colors and some different effects,
Yeah.
you want some cool audio effects, and you want a finale.
Yeah.
And so when we started innovating in that base level, that's where we started, we looked at this idea of like powder limitations, because you're limited on an aerial that's like a typical size that would cost you somewhere around $50 at a traditional store, sometimes more. You're limited to 500 grams of pyrotechnic composition. We started thinking about ways that we could legally and safely increase the powder limit that our customers can detonate and get that, you know, Disney level show with a backyard consumer product.
Okay.
And so we created what we now call a finale set. And it's trademarked, it's federally registered, we're the only ones that can use the word finale set.
Okay.
And it's very much what it sounds like. It's a set of aerials that can be connected together according to the instructions we provide you in a way that's gonna give you a good rhythm, all of the effects and colors that you're looking for,
Yeah.
and you're gonna easily be the king of the block.
Right.
Or you're gonna be the hero of your family birthday party, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So we try to just basically make it easy to get that basic level of effects that everyone's looking for when they shop for fireworks.
Yeah.
But that's just the intro level, right? So
Yeah.
even at the intro level, you're good.
Yeah.
But if you wanna dig into the different technical specifications on the back of the box, if you wanna study the info strip on the front
Yeah.
or the info box on the back,
Yeah.
you can get very granular in terms of what colors are you looking for, the specific effects. If you're having, let's say, a graduation party,
Yeah.
and your school colors are green and white,
Yeah.
you can certainly walk around our store and pick out the fireworks that are green and white.
Really?
So that's,
And on their website.
especially on the
Yeah.
website. Yeah.
Okay. So when you talk about that, like if somebody says, you know, I want something custom, like I want certain colors or a certain explosion type or whatever you call it, are you able to do that? Are you able to customize sort of their color scheme and all of that too?
It's not like you're customizing on the fly,
Right.
but you can certainly say that firework will give you the color that you're looking for, or the effect that you're looking for.
Okay, okay.
But customizing on the fly is a cool concept.
Cool idea.
Just kidding. It's a freebie for you.
Thank you.
I want to ask too, because when I was a kid, you always heard stories like, well, little Billy, you know, was playing with fireworks and he blew his hand off last year. So let's address the safety issue. I think a lot of people, parents especially, are worried about safety. Kids find these things and they decide to light them, and it can be scary. So how do you address that safety issue?
I think there's a marketing component that I'll let Mike talk about.
Yeah.
I think the practical component is that if you follow the instructions on the box,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible for you to get hurt by the product.
Yeah.
And it's simple things like keep a safe distance.
Yeah.
Don't put your face over a lit firework.
Right.
You know, most of the people that are unfortunately getting injured
Yeah.
or killed, it's 99% of the time because they were misusing the product, they didn't
Right.
read the instructions, they
Right.
were drunk.
Right.
You know, you should never operate fireworks under any sort of
Right.
controlled substance or alcohol, and it's
Right.
just like, you know, that's the instinct for some reason. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
drunk, let's go light some stuff up. Like, no,
People
like,
think they're toys.
Yeah.
it's not a toy. You could easily die if you don't follow the instructions.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, that's the practical legal side of things.
Yeah.
I think the marketing side is a different story.
Yeah.
I mean, the marketing side is, it comes back to knowledge and it comes back to education. And it's giving the customer the correct amount of information, maybe
Yeah.
even more than they'll need, like I said earlier, to make them not only have an educated buying decision, but a safe night or whenever they're shooting those fireworks.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have big, bold, bright warning labels, we have instructions, we have safety sheets that we put in with all of our boxes and things like that.
Okay.
We do have instructional videos on how to do things correctly,
Okay.
but it's.
We were the first ones to do that also,
Yep.
to actually give a visual component on how to operate.
Really?
Right.
Normally, it's like this CPSC sanctioned
Yeah.
text
Yeah.
that nobody reads because it's like, you know, you need it has to be a 14-point font,
Yeah.
and so people put it as close to 14 as they possibly can, as small as they possibly
Yeah.
can. We came along, we're like, blow it up, man,
Yeah.
like put it on the part of the box that you actually have to open,
Yeah.
so you're seeing it as you're cutting open the package.
Right.
Yeah, and we had our design team come up with this very cool, because the standard is this long paragraph that nobody reads, right?
Yeah.
But we had our design team come up with this really easy to digest,
Yeah.
do this with a bunch of icons, don't do this.
Yeah.
Like an
with a bunch of
infographic.
icons. Just, it's an infographic, and it's very easy to understand.
Yeah.
And really, if just people follow the instructions, you know, and didn't let their kids have access to certain things, you know, they're not toys.
Yeah.
There's a legal limit, there's a legal age limit for a reason.
Yeah.
It's like any regulated good, really.
Exactly.
It's like, you know, don't give your kids alcohol,
Right.
keep away the THC stuff, you know, don't give them access to your guns or knives. It's the same common sense approach.
Exactly.
But people hear fireworks and they think explosion, so they sort of overestimate how dangerous they are, when in
Yeah.
fact, just, you know, read the freaking instructions.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever heard of an issue is for misuse.
Yeah. Yeah, just not knowing how to properly handle.
Even if you do know it, you know, like Doug said, you're drunk,
Yeah.
or you're not paying attention,
Yeah.
or something doesn't light, you know, because it doesn't go up, and then if you wander over to it and look in the tube,
Yeah.
and it fires out, you know.
Every year.
Through your skull.
Every year, you need like a designated shooter at your party.
Yeah.
Like, you know, designated driver.
Yeah.
Like, you need a designated shooter.
100%, 100%.
Do you guys supply one of those with your?
I'll come
Hey,
with
the price is right.
It's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What do you think, I wanna ask you guys, what do you think the fascination is with Americans and fireworks and explosions? What do you think the core of that is? Why do people love it so much? Is it because it's dangerous, it's a little bit dangerous, but it's also pretty cool?
Perceived as dangerous.
I think it's the level of danger,
Yeah.
and even if it's legal, you're still kind of thinking
Well,
that
look,
maybe you're doing
go
something
deeper.
wrong.
Look at the core of our country. Look at the fabric of our country.
Yeah.
It was founded on rebellion.
Right.
So, you know, this is just another
Blowing
form.
stuff up. you
That's
know,
right.
it's- Yeah.
They've done studies though, that the height of anticipation
Yeah.
is what drives the excitement for fireworks.
Yeah.
So people don't even really, your brain doesn't even really care about the explosion
Yeah.
or the colors. It's like, oh, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's from the time that it launched, you hear it launch out of the tube,
Yeah.
up until the point right before it explodes.
Yeah.
That's when your brain is like, give it to me, you know?
It's like an endorphin rush, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk about like the marketing. Did you guys did you innovate the packaging is what fascinates me, because I look at these things and like, you could see one of these boxes from a mile away, because the way the color pops you know, did you guys come up with any of this artwork or package? What's the process behind that? Is that part of your
I don't know if
ideas?
there is a process, we kinda, I mean, as far as like ideas and names and things
Yeah.
like that, I think it's more me and Doug, like hanging out and talking about things that we're into,
Yeah.
or things that, you know, we used to, different things we used to have as kids.
Yeah.
You know, for example, like that Pixels right there.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of a line called the Arcade
Yeah,
lineup, and it's all like kind of 80s themed, 8-bit, 32-bit
arcade.
arcade stuff, because, you know, I still remember sitting in Doug's room
Yeah.
while he was playing Metroid or Metroid 2 on Super Nintendo, you know, and,
Yeah.
you know, just, you know, it was awesome to watch, right?
Yeah.
So now we have these fireworks that kind of reflect some point of our childhood.
But this is the coolest part,
Mhm.
because, so our packaging,
Yeah.
that's a great example.
Yeah.
Our packaging, it is based on things that are ingrained in our psyche from when we were kids.
Really?
And now, like video games, you know? And now we're old enough where we have children,
Yeah.
and we're looking for, you know, as a parent, you're always looking for ways to connect with your kid, right?
Yeah.
And for us, it's like you go into our store, you go on our website, and you see a product like this,
Yeah.
and it's hitting so many emotional levels for you, and it's providing that path to connect with your kid, because you want to create that memory.
Yeah.
Because fireworks are all about memories, having
Yeah.
memories, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that we're hitting our customers on a lot of different psychological levels based on things that they're emotionally connected to.
That's interesting.
And that's where a lot of our inspiration comes. Like I DJ'd for a long time. I paid for my undergrad DJing rave parties in Detroit. And so a lot of our packaging reflects some of the design style that were on these rave flyers at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Which I used to have plastered all over my room.
Yeah, we used to
Yeah.
wallpaper our rooms
Yeah.
with the rave flyers.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's, the process itself, I don't think there isn't, for us, it's not like a defined starting and an end,
Yeah.
but it certainly is like, where do we wanna take the directionality of this performance?
Yeah.
Because you watch the performance, you'll see something, and say, okay, that reminds me of whatever.
Yeah.
And then you sort of go down that path.
Right.
And it's also a path of what we don't wanna do too, because there's some weird standard in the fireworks industry where they pick just the weirdest names
Yeah.
and the weirdest artwork.
Like what?
Like
Example.
Confederate flags and motorcycles and skulls,
Yeah.
where it's borderline KKK,
Yeah.
but.
And this is on a firework.
And it's on a firework.
Firework box.
It's on a firework box, and like, you know,
Wow.
skulls and guns and violence, and
Yeah.
not to say that we don't use skulls, because we do have some pretty cool.
But we make them
skull
cool,
designs.
right?
Yeah.
We make them cool, you know, things about, you know, mother-in-laws and, you know, not your grandma's firework and things like that, and it's just like,
Well, no, again, it goes deeper though, because
Yeah.
for a long time, these companies didn't even have their own design departments.
Right.
They were relying on the factories to do the artwork. So they would come up with a name, and here's the best example. There's a huge fireworks company in the United States. They have a product called One Bad Mother, right? When we hear that, like, we get it, right?
Yeah.
We understand that, oh, that's a bad MFer, right?
Yeah.
They gave it to a designer probably in China, and the designer did their best to match the artwork to the words One Bad Mother. And the package to this day is this like terrible cartoon
Yeah.
of like a mother drinking and smoking and wearing like this hoochie mama clothing while the kids are
like
like
holding a
crying.
baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they totally misinterpreted
Yeah.
the title of the product.
So it's literally a bad mother.
It's literally a bad mother.
Right,
Okay, wow.
right.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So you guys have,
Remember that one we saw that was said fighting the Nazis of World War I?
That was literally the name of a product.
that was the name of a product.
Number one, there were no Nazis in World War I. Number two, this thing had swastikas all over it.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
sitting there like, all right.
I never knew.
Yeah,
I
it's
never
nuts.
knew.
It's nuts.
I wouldn't buy those fireworks.
I wouldn't.
No, who would?
That's crazy. So the packaging, so do you guys actually design the artwork, and do you have an internal team that does this, or?
We have a designated in-house Red Apple design team.
Really? Okay. And they come up with these characters, like the zombies there and all that?
Yep.
They really do all that?
100%.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't use any stock artwork. We started that way because it was the most accessible, but now it's all totally custom.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what have you learned in this business? What kind of stories, what kind of ups and downs have you guys felt or seen? I mean, obviously, you're at a great level now. I'm sure it was hard to get there. I'm sure there were hiccups, you know. Any stories or anything you've learned from struggles you've had?
I think you'd like to tell this side of things.
Which one? We learned a lot of lessons. We continue to.
Yeah,
So one of my mantras is that, complacency is a slow death,
yeah,
and comfort is a slow death.
yeah,
And so if we're not innovating, if I don't see innovation across every department in the company,
right,
I get really anxious.
yeah,
And when I get anxious, that's when I become an asshole.
yeah,
And I try to curb that, but when I see stagnancy, it makes me insane because I know that where we're at right now, we just started. Even though it's been 10 years, I feel like we just started.
yeah,
And so if it takes us another 10 years to iterate to the next plateau or the next level,
yeah,
it's too long.
yeah,
So for me, I'm generally pretty anxious about innovation.
yeah,
The other thing that, on the other side is customer.
yeah.
We've learned so much from our customers just by listening to them.
Mhm.
And I know that sounds trite,
Yeah.
but most people don't listen to their customers. Most
No.
businesses don't listen to their customers.
I agree 100%, yeah.
And so for us, we approach it the way that, we used to love shopping at Nordstrom
Mhm.
because you could get good service while you were there. And if you took the product home and used it, you wore the shirt and you decided you didn't like it, you could take it right back.
Yeah,
And they would just swap it out for you, give you your money back. So we really try to take the same approach and listen to our customers because we want everyone to be happy. We're not looking for one-off customers.
yeah,
So I think innovate, keep your customers happy,
yeah,
care for them, empathize with them.
yeah.
And, those are the two main things that I've learned over the last 10 years.
Yeah. What about you? Mike?
I think I'd go along with that.
Yeah.
And I've always been, of the customer service mindset. And I think that, when we started, we were very customer service centered.
Yeah,
Customer. I remember staying up until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning answering Facebook messages
Yeah.
and things like that, because that's what the business required.
That's what we did.
And, as we grew
Yeah.
and took on, people to help with those things, not only did I feel a little less connected to the customer because I wasn't the one engaging with them, but I think the company as a whole somewhat kind of started to get disconnected with the customer because we were accelerating.
yeah,
And I think these past couple of years, especially during COVID,
yeah,
it really, re-ingrained with us the idea that we have to listen to our customers.
right,
We have to talk to them, we have to interact with them, we have to learn from them.
yeah.
And just because a customer has something negative to share with you,
That's better than 5.
give me all the negative comments you have,
Yeah,
and we'll take them and we'll fix them.
A lot of the things that we do in our company are because we heard negative feedback,
yeah,
where someone maybe was trying to trash talk us,
yeah, sure,
and we just grabbed it, and overnight, so that's the other thing is we're very agile.
yeah,
So when something needs to be changed, we change it quickly.
yeah,
So someone will say, oh, your veterans program is garbage, right? Like, our grandpa was a tank driver,
yeah,
so like, we get it, we just didn't have it implemented to the extent it needed to be.
Right.
So the guy who trash talked us, he tried to bring us down, but actually the next day we had this amazing, veterans recognition program,
Yeah.
and, that's the sort of thing that drives us.
Yeah, it's funny that you mention that, because I think that if people knew how seriously we took that problem, I mean, it was an all hands on deck problem.
Yeah.
And we had almost every employee in our organization
Yeah.
put in their 2 cents. We had our general manager, or store manager in Michigan, who's a veteran himself, pretty much spearheading the project of, researching what kind of veterans offers are out there, and what kind of discounts, what kind of benefits, and how we can take those ideas and bring them into our organization.
But now it's the best.
And now it's the best iteration of it that we've ever had.
and that came from negative.
It came from 1-star review
Yeah.
about, some customer that didn't get his free item because he didn't have his ID on that day or something like that.
I mean, that's interesting, because, you always want to hear good things, but actually it's the bad things that get pivot, right? So,
I mean, think about it, the only times you might leave a review online on Google or something like that,
Yeah.
the only time you get a response from the owner or whoever in that business
Yeah.
is when it's a 1-star crowd review.
right, right, right. How would you guys describe the company culture? Like, you guys you're in multiple locations, your headquarters is here, but you're in several states, right? As someone who wants to open a location in another place, who are you looking for? What's the culture? How do you define a culture?
It's really funny that you asked that because we just had a meeting yesterday. We had like a 2-hour all hands meeting yesterday
Yeah.
to discuss the way forward in terms of building more of a culture. Because for the last 10 years or 11 years, it's just been like go, go, go.
Yeah.
And we didn't necessarily take the time to recognize or even think about what we needed in terms of company culture.
Yeah.
And so I think our core team right now, if you were to ask anyone, they would just say grind. But like that's not enough, right? So we actually are now, we're right in the middle of the process of collecting feedback from our team. And I think we want to distill it down to probably between 5 and 10 core values that we can use in the way that you mentioned, right? Because we're opening up in all these different geographic locations
Yeah.
with different local cultures, different norms.
Yeah.
And we need to have cultures that are easily translated to those geographic locales.
Right.
So I would say it's probably going to end up going back to grind, innovate,
Yeah.
respect your whole supply chain
Yeah.
from your supplier all the way to your end user
Yeah.
and everyone in between.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything earth shattering.
Yeah.
I think we're already doing a lot of what will ultimately end up being our values, but we don't have an easily definable culture right now. Except grind and make cool shit.
Right. It's not bad. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, that's it, 100%.
I mean, let's look at the way that the industry could evolve in 5, 10 years from now. What do you foresee? I mean, how do you foresee being ahead of everybody else? I think you're already miles ahead of everybody else, but what do you foresee in the future? I mean, technology is going to change the way people interact with technology, the way they shop. It's always changing. What do you see coming up for yourselves, and the way things might evolve?
I think when you think about the typical fireworks buying experience,
Yeah.
you think about driving to the border of the state that you're at, going over the border, and there's like a little fireworks stand with like this old like crusty, toothless dude who's selling you
Yeah.
whistling bungles and
More bang for your buck, and buy one, get 10 free.
Yeah.
and so for us it's like we see a huge opportunity there,
Yeah.
especially because we really harness technology.
Correct.
I think that if anyone in the industry saw what it takes, technologically speaking, to operate our website and how much it costs us to operate the website,
Yeah.
I think they would call us crazy and they would say these guys are gonna be out of business in the next year.
Yeah.
It's expensive as hell, right?
Yeah.
But in our industry, we're positioned, I'd like to think we're positioned similarly to the way that Zappos was positioned before people realized that they could buy shoes online.
Yeah.
And everyone, so if you, at that time, go to Zappos.com, you can get yourself a pair of Nikes. Well, no, I wanna go to the store and try them on.
Yeah.
And Zappos is like, no, you don't have to. We'll ship them to you for free. And if you don't like them, you can ship them back to us for free. And if you like them, just keep them.
Yeah.
And so there's a real lack of authority in the space of, can I buy fireworks online? People don't know. They think it's illegal. They think they can't.
Yeah.
We're shipping fireworks to 42 different states right now.
Wow.
And so we are spearhead. There's no company in the world doing e-commerce fireworks the way that we're doing it, the right way.
Yeah.
So I would say 5-year plan, depending on how quickly we can push this thing, is certainly to solidify our position as a authority in online fireworks.
Yeah. That's really interesting that you're doing the e-commerce. I'm curious about that. Like how does that work? And if they don't like something, or what is your policy and how does that work? The whole online buying fireworks. That really intrigues me.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It is.
It's tough to deal with because we can't ship UPS, FedEx.
Yeah.
We have to ship by common carrier,
Okay.
which means get a pallet,
Yeah.
put the fireworks on the pallet, shrink wrap it, call the trucking company.
Yeah.
Trucking company shows up with the semi truck,
Yeah.
and the fireworks are gone. They're never going to be back.
That's expensive, right?
It's expensive as
Very
hell.
expensive, yeah.
Our margins online are much lower than our in-store margins because we're eating most of the shipping.
Right.
Because Amazon has spoiled everyone into thinking that we can get free overnight shipping, which, that's fine, it's a good thing. That's what we'd like to do eventually, but yeah, it's tough. Right now, if we make a mistake, our error rate is actually very, very low.
Right.
I think we had last year, I think it was 0.5% that was attributable to something we did wrong. The rest of the mistakes, and there weren't many, but the rest of them were attributable to the carrier, or maybe they punctured the fireworks with a forklift or whatever,
Right.
or sent it to the wrong address or whatever. The error rates were very low. When there is an issue, we credit back the customer. Keep this stuff. Here's your store credit. Sorry for the mistake. If you want us to ship you out another one, you can use your store credit for that. but we don't have a lot of options in terms of accepting the product back, from a legal perspective.
Yeah.
So we just kinda have to, just eat it. And we're happy to do that, because
Yeah.
our error rate is low,
Yeah.
and again, we want our customers to be happy.
So, you're one of the, are you the only ones able to do this? I mean, are there other companies that can do online ordering for fireworks? I mean,
They're trying.
They're trying, they're not doing it the way we're doing it,
okay,
and as flawlessly as we're doing it, and
Okay.
with as much support and knowledge behind it too.
okay.
It's really an empty field.
How many countries? 40? You said?
42 states.
42 states.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
states.
Soon to be 42 countries.
Wow. Where do you see most of the orders coming from? Like, are they going to New York? Are they going to Florida? Are they going?
Southeast is real big,
Yeah.
from, basically like from Texas to
Yeah.
Florida, up to Tennessee
Okay.
and across. So it's
Yeah.
sort of like the lower right-hand quadrant of our country.
Okay.
I think they're huge consumers of fireworks.
Okay.
I think we have a big untapped market in the Midwest,
Okay.
but our brand just isn't that well known out there yet.
Yeah.
So we're just looking for that critical mass.
What are they buying them for? I mean, people buying them for birthday. Is it like football games? Is it birthday parties? Is it anniversaries? Is it?
It's really any reason.
Yeah.
You know, I think that our marketing efforts have made it so that people find reasons to purchase fireworks throughout the year. And I think in off times, like, you know, the middle of August or, you know, the end of October,
Yeah.
it's because we have some sort of sale going on. That they're like, oh, you know what, I'm getting my fireworks for New Year's Eve right now,
Right.
because that item is normally $60 more,
Yeah.
you know, around this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, they buy them, of course, for the 4th of July, New Year's Eve.
Right.
We just got done, in October, there's a big Hindu holiday called Diwali,
Yeah.
or Diwali, some people say.
Wasn't that just happening?
Just a couple weeks ago, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
And it's a huge holiday in the Hindu religion, and they go nuts for fireworks.
Really?
So it's, you know, it's us, not only us giving people a reason to use fireworks, but also, I just forgot what I was
They
saying.
don't even know where to go for it.
Yeah, they don't even know where to go for it.
So it's like a visibility.
Yeah, we give them the opportunity to do it.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, you know, it's just like going on vacation in the winter and you need a pair of shorts, you're not able to find them.
Yeah.
You know, but now, you know, Red Apple, we've got you covered no matter what time of year it is.
Right.
Mike runs through a lot of pairs of
I go through a lot of shorts.
Yeah.
So,
And shoes too.
I'm wearing pants today, but shorts.
This has been cool. I mean, I really, you guys are really innovating the industry. I like it.
Trying.
You know, if someone's interested in maybe opening up a location or finding out more, what's the best way to reach you guys? I know you're pretty active on YouTube.
We're super accessible,
Yeah.
so any social channel, SMS, you know, you can text us, call. When we get emails, we answer them.
Okay.
My email's doug@redapplefireworks.com. I answer all the emails that I can possibly get to.
Yeah.
Mine's Doug around the fires.
Pretty easy.
But I think that, going back to your question earlier about culture,
Yeah.
I think it's really important that people can identify with what they see on like our website or our social channels.
Yeah.
Or our YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I think the culture is there.
Yeah.
It's not, it's kind of like unspoken at this point,
Right.
but it's clearly there, you can
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the first thing is, you know, you need to be able to identify with it. It's not for everyone.
Right.
We're edgy, we're obnoxious, you know,
Yeah.
it takes a special person to appreciate some of our humor sometimes. But yeah, I mean, we're very accessible.
Because I think, you know, in the olden days, you think of a business owner, you think of a guy in a suit locked up in an office or at his house, and he doesn't want to talk to anybody. Sure. He just wants to hire people to do everything for him. And I think that you guys get it. Like, you have to be immersed in the business. You have to talk to your customers, and you have to address the questions. And I love that you're doing that. So
Appreciate it.
That's awesome. And I love that you guys are a little bit obnoxious and out there, because I am too. And I respect businesses that want to walk a different path.
For sure.
Because if you don't do that, you're gonna die pretty quickly, you know? And I think anybody who's ever ran anything successful, they did their own thing, you know?
For sure.
They
You can
did
see it.
well. Yeah. Guys, it's been great. I think this was a good episode, and I think if anybody's listening and you wanna know more about Red Apple Fireworks, whether you're interested in the business, the products, or just talking to these guys, reach out.
We're an open book.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right.
Nice work. We love Mike. We'll talk too much.
Are we still live on YouTube? Are there any questions that people are asking that we can
Yeah, we can,
answer?
yeah, I stopped my recording, but we can answer questions.
Yeah, we can answer questions if we're still going.
We're still,
Any questions for Mike?
still going. Give me a second.
Mike, why is your haircut so cool?
Because I go to a really cool barber.
Mike, are you married or are you happy?
Both.
Are there any questions or comments?
Gavin would like a discount.
If Gavin heads over to redappleplayers.com and clicks on the sale page, you can see about 40 different items on discount right now.
You got it, Gavin.
You got it, man. Got you covered.
Cody would like you guys to chug the Modelo's.
I don't feel like vomiting on camera.
That's too easy. Cheers, cheers. Yep, cheers.
Good luck. Good episode.
I don't think I've drank a beer since I was in a frat.
You were in a frat? Not cool, bro.
At the time, it was pretty cool.
Or was it?
It was.
You think it was?
It was.
Here you go, Cody. For you.
I'm gonna put this together now.
Cool.
I can see you guys. So. I like to get it all done.
What's on your shirt?
So,
I see you guys are
my
awesome.
brother-in-law and I
You're
are
awesome.
about to become, so you build website apps.
I appreciate
We
that.
do virtual reality stuff, so
Very cool.
built a lot of websites.
Want to end it?
We're working
Sure.
on.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Visualizations. Peace.